こんにちは、チャートマスターの根崎ゆきです。8月30日のセッションリキャップ、スコットのWEBセミナーを取っていきたいと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。それでは始めていきましょう。
Okay, this is the session recap for the 29th of August. If I ever make a typo, you open the chart, you open the room, the session recap, and we will tell you the very first thing what day it's for. All right? So, the session recap for the 29th, we're going to look here at the euro. All right? Starting on the euro, up to the 240 chart. All right? There's a little bit left in this trade, not much. And I'm not, if you can trade something else, trade something else. You can see that's what's left in it. It's only about 40 pips, folks, and it's meandering. This thing will not move again until
ユーロドルの240分からですね。でもうあんまりスペースがないので、ここのサポートですね、デイチャートのサポートなんですけども、もうあんまりスペースがないので、他の通貨トレードできるならしていきましょうねということですね。
the London session. It only moves 13 pips on average in this Asian session. So you don't want to trade it in the Asian session because it only moves 13 pips and it needs to move 40. So you wait until the London session. But there's the target at 31.88. And what we'd hope that they would do is come up and square this up, which would give us even more profit. They'll come up and square it up and turn to the downside. We'll be interested in the London session for that.
でここにスクエアップキャンドルが直近のキャンドルであるので、それをスクエアップしてきてから売るっていうのだったらまだスペースが増えてできますねと。何にせよロンドンセッションまではできないですねっていう感じですね。
Right. British pound continues to move to the downside, but it's stuck inside a wedge. All right, you can see on 60, we've got a very, very well-defined head and shoulders down here. Up to the 240, we can see we're in this wedge, but the reason we're in a wedge is because there's a day chart trend right here. All right, so the trade is to finish this off down at the bottom again. All right, so there's a little diggy move right here, not worth trading. The only trade that's worth trading is the breakout. Break, hook, and go, because there's the snowman. One right here, right here. There's the snowman. All right, that's
ポンドドルですね、240分。ヘッド&ショルダーが見えていて、デイチャートの下のトレンドラインまでスペースがあるんですけど、やんない方がいいですよねと。それよりもネックライン抜けてきて、ブレイクフック&ゴーで1つ目、2つ目っていう風に取っていった方がいいですよねと。
The only trade that's worth risking money on, the buy. If you don't get the buy above 5,500, you'll be going to 56.53. It's 150 pips up here, folks. And the pound dollar has 101 pip ATR. So tonight, it may do that. It's also going to be square up tonight in the London. They've been trading down all week, so all the position traders will exit their sells. How do they exit their sells? They buy their way out. So we'll look for that tonight in the London session. That. All right, dollar CAD. Dollar CAD is, it needs a bigger retracement, folks. We're right here at the top of the trend. There's only 20 pips at the top. Unless we get a better retracement, there's nothing to do here. So we want them to build a bull flag to the downside. That's what we want them to do. All right, so you'll call your broker and tell him, please build a bull flag down over here. That would be nice. Now you can see this is a little bear flag here. This is a bear flag inside here. So it's very, very possible that when we get to the top right here, we'll get the turn to the downside. And when we get down in this area, now we're looking for the buy to the upside.
ドルカナダですね、240分。ベアフラッグ、ブルフラッグがありますね、ここに。なので下がってきてからの買いでいっていきたいんですけども、その中にもベアフラッグがあるので、ここで抜けてきての売りっていうことが考えられますね。で、この下まで来たらこのブルフラッグの TRB で買っていきたいねっていうことですね。
Unless that happens, there's nothing to do. If you get the trade down at 0450 area, you want to trade it to the double top. So, in the double top.
1.0450 のエリアまで来たら買っていきたいですね。ダブルトップまで買っていきたいねってことですね。
At 0570. Swissy, unsustainable trend. We've talked about this all morning now. We've got an unsustainable trend. We took out the target. We're waiting for them to come back and square up, probably around the 382 right here. We'll pull this back down to the 382, and we'll look for the bounce to the upside. If it pulls down to here, then we're going to go up to this top right here, because it doesn't have a big ATR. The ATR on the Swissy is only 75 pips. So if they pull it down in here and bounce it, it probably isn't going to be more than what it just did here. But the good news is we will get a new trend on here. That's what we're really wanting to do. So, now,
ドルフランは一回戻ってきてからの買いになりそうですよね。そしたら、新しいトレンドができてトレードできますよねって感じですね。一回戻りを待ちましょうと。
Oh yeah, we're waiting for the breakout to the north here, and so far we haven't done it. It was a great trade for all of you who made that trade, and so now we're looking for a break of the 98.50 and the day chart top. Once we get the 98.50 out, which is where we are right now, and this day chart top, wait for a break, hook, and go, and that's our trade right there, about 60 pips right there. And there's another one right above it, so there's this.
ドル円はこのデイチャートのトレンドですよね。これをブレイクフック&ゴーしてきてからこの R、1234R4 ですね。ここのターゲットまで取りたいね。で、その1個前の HSI のこの上ですよね。R5 ですね。ここまでのスペースも見ていきたいよねってことですね。
Snowman here, so we don't want to miss a snowman if you get a chance. All right. So first target is 99.16, second target is 99.57.
まず1つ目のターゲットは、99.16 99円16銭。その次が99.57 99円57銭ですね。
Alright, Aussie dollar, doing nothing. Cup and hand on the Swissy, let's go look at it. Good question. They did it. There's the cup. There's the handle. And there's the place to the north. Let's see it. Let's see that.
ドルフランなんですけど、カップ&ハンドル。カップ。まあ、コップですよね。コップとハンドル、取っ手があって、それを抜けてきての、動きっていうような、なんかこれ、まあ、アメリカっぽいパターンですよね。アメリカ人が作ったようなパターンですね。カップ&ハンドルっていうパターンだそうです。
So we did it. And then that's why you watch for these patterns. Now you won't see many of those cup and handles. You might see 3 a year, but we knew it was going to break to the north. As you know, we talked about that. Right? So what did it do? It broke to the north. So there it is. That's why you got to know your patterns. Right? Now you don't have to practice cup and handles because you only got.
まあこのカップ&ハンドルっていうパターンは年に 2,3 回しかないので、まああればやりたいですけど、あんまりないですよねっていうことを言ってますね。
3 a year, so you just saw your one for the year right there. So we had one in February also. So done. All right, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is really having trouble here, and if they can break this trend line down here, there's a big opportunity here. So what we want to do is they want me to break, hook, and go down to here, and if we can break that, we'll go to here. Right? So those are the opportunities right there, and that's a big snowman right there, folks. And so there we go.
OG ドルですね、このチャンネルをブレイクフック&ゴーしてきたらこの大きなスペース取っていきたいねってことですね。まずは、ダブルボトムサポートまで、その下のデイチャートのサポートまで取っていきたいねと。
So don't miss that. Our first target is 88.48. The second target is 87.78. We want to be a seller on both of these. When we break down here, we want to be a seller. And there we go. Those are the opportunities. Now, it's already taken the 8,800 out here, so when you get a break hook and go, you can just go ahead and take it there. Euro yen. Euro yen, we're waiting for the break to the upside. Surprisingly, they haven't done anything, but you can sure see the opportunity here. Trade 1 is right here, and trade 2 is right here. Right, another snowman. So when you can get above 130.50, break, hook, and go, trade 1 is here, trade 2 is here. All right, so that's a nice trade if you can get it. Now, be careful of the whipsaw, because you can see they've been whipsawing this thing pretty good.
ユーロ円ですね。昨日動かなかったのが不思議なんですけども、ここの高値を抜けてきてブレイクフック&ゴーしたら R3 まで取りたいね。で、その後は R4 まで取りたいねっていうことですね。130円50銭より上で買っていきたいねと。
Careful that. Right there, see? Whipsaw it. So when they break, you know, be careful when you hit this target, because they could do this over here. Be careful. All right. Pound yen. Pound yen, we're waiting for the break to the top. There's nothing for us to do here right now. We have a descending wedge inside of it, an ascending wedge inside of the channel. All right, that's a buy side. The problem is there's only 20 pips here. So we got to be above 152.80. When we do that, we only have 20 pips to get our stop to 153. It costs 9 pips to get in this trade. So, in my opinion, is you cannot trade this.
ポンド円ですね。今、チャンネルの中にエイセーリングウェッジっていうこのウェッジのパターンがあって、なのでこれ買いパターンですよね。でもプログラム問題としてはこのターゲットまで少ないよねと、20ピップしかないのでちょっと微妙だよね。 超えてってブレイク間の5でもチャンネルの上が近いとちょっとポンド円はできないよねってことですね。
Thing until we're above 153.08. So don't buy. When you get above 153.08, now we got an opportunity because now we got a few pips to the upside. So in here, you could get whacked to death inside this little area right in here.
で、やるとしたら153円08、153円08銭ですね、08銭。より上で買っていくならありますけど、まあそれまではちょっと何もできないですねという感じです。
Right. So be careful of that. New Zealand dollar. Right? New Zealand, we're waiting for it to break to the downside. Trying to do that right now. All right. So when we do break, we have a two-part opportunity here. Here's the first part and the second part right here. Another snowman right here. All right. Well, we got this bottom to deal with over here. So if you get the break, hook, and go, you'll trade it to here and get your stop move. And when it breaks through here, move your stop above this line. And if it break hooks in here, double your position down to 76.08. That's the way you want to trade it.
9ドルですね。D チャートのトレンドラインを割ってきて、ブレイクフック&ゴーしたら1つ目、2つ目っていう風に取っていきたいですねと。
Right. We have to enter it for posting chat. I'm not being lazy. I'm going to try hard. You're funny, Mark. Alright, there you go. Good work, Mark. Pretty funny. Alright, on the yen. Waiting to see if we'll get this trade up to the upside. It's pretty nice, well measured here, okay? So we got another 60 pips up to the top here. And advanced traders, this is the counter trend trade that I would make because I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to get to the top of the trend, and there's 60 pips here. This is not a good place to do it right here. They have squared this up, however. As everybody can see, we have squared it up. So we could take off from here. If we take off from here because that square up has taken place, then we would look for the trade to the downside. If they move above here, then what they're doing is they're committing to that top right there. We would trade it up to here and then look for the sell-off to the downside.
OG 円ですね。で、まあ昨日もやってたんですけど、まあスクエアップキャンドルがあるので上がってきたわけですよね。でもしここから売られたら売っていきたいですし、まあこれより上がってくるんだったらこのトレンドラインをめがけて上がってきての売りをしたいですねっていう感じですね。で、ターゲットはここです。
All right. Now, just as easy, get a break hook and go up here, and then we're looking for up here. So any one of those, I don't care which one it is. The 1, 2, 3, or 4. If it does any one of those, I would be interested in the trade right there.
で、まあ上に上がってきたら、このブレイクフック&ここで上のトレンドラインまで買っていきたいね。で、まあどれでもいいですよね。このまま上がってきてくるっていうパターン1。で、そこからの売り2。で、今ここから下がってくるパターン3。上をブレイクしていって、ブレイクフック&ここで買う4。まあどれでもいいんですけど、まあどれかやっていきたいよねってことですね。
So I like that. A lot of opportunity on that AJ. Euro pound can't trade it after Wednesday, so walk away from it. All right, we've got a breakout of the Euro Aussie to the downside. We're headed.
ユーロポンドはもう今日金曜日なのでできないですよね。やらない方がいいです。続いてユーロオージー行きましょう。
Right into consolidation, so we don't want to trade it into consolidation. We want to wait for the break of consolidation. As you can see, here's consolidation. Bam, 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 bam. If you trade in here, you're trading in the junk, and you're going to get whacked. You got to wait till it gets below there, and there's your opportunity. It's a two-part trade. Bisected by there. Trade 1 is here, 2 is here. So don't trade it unless it breaks, hooks, and goes below here. Because of this right here is what they might.
ユーロオージーはここにジャンクありますよね。もう行ったり来たりのよくわかんないところっていうのがまたここで出てくる可能性があります。なのでトレードしない方がいいですよね。じゃあどこからするかっていうと S の1、2、3、4より下で、5を狙っていきましょうってことですね。で、真ん中にサポートありますからまず1つ目。その後の2つ目っていう風にトレードしていきたいですね。
Here, this is exactly what they did over here and what they did over here. All right, see that? Bang, 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 bang. That's where the dumb money trades. We don't trade there. We wait for the break into the wide open space and then we'll trade it there. All right. You got to wait for that trade though. Oh man, I don't want to wait. I want to get in a trade. Well, that's how you get stopped out. More CAD. Hey, guess what? Come up to the 13, down to the 15. Alright, so now we can turn to the downside here. What's the problem? Time of day. Alright, so we don't want to trade it now, but we will watch for it. Now remember, if they can't find enough sellers, they're going to keep moving up. Moving up, till they find enough sellers to sell us to the downside. So what are we looking at in the big picture up here, okay? You got a square up to take place right there. This candle needs to be squared up. This candle needs to be squared up. So we're coming down at 38.50. and we're in an uptrend. So at 38.50, you'll start to look and see if you get a break to the upside. So when we square this candle up down here, you got a chance to trade on those. You can trade it down to here if you're an advanced trader. It's a counter trend trade. All right, you got to be very wary of this. Okay, as you can see, they move them in one big swap, one big swap. So if they go sideways here, they'll probably do one big swap right down to there. All right, look in the past and they'll tell you this is why they're going to trade it right over here. That's how they're going to trade it. See.
ユーロカナダですね。スクエアアップキャンドルが、ここに一つ、ここに一つあったので今下がってきてます。で、アドバンストレーダー、上級者の皆さんは、ここの次のスクエアアップまで売っててもいいですよね。でも、ここからの買いでやっていきたいですよね。またスクエアアップあるので、ここから買っていきたいですよねっていうことです。ブレイクしてきたら買いたいよねと。
You need to be ready for it. All right. So then once we take this bottom out, then we need to square this candle up and this square up. And so we look for them to break and hook back up and square both of these up. All right. Remember, tomorrow is square up day and tonight is square up day in the London. So if they pull this to the downside, we'll be anticipating the move back up to the upside. So be aware.
で、今日は金曜日ということでスクエアアップデーですよね。みんな決済してくるところなので、こうスクエアアップされてくるところなので、ここからの買い行きたいですよね。
So watch for the bounce. CAD yen. CAD yen is at the top of the trend line here. We're anticipating a breakout because all the yens are moving to the upside. So a breakout here, up here, gives us this great opportunity. Break, hook, and go. There's the first part of the trade right there, and there's the second part of the trade right there. All right. So we don't want to miss this trade right here, and maybe this one right here. So we're going up to potentially, first trade is 94.66. Second trade is up there at 9,500. All right, so we're going to flip this around, be a buy. All right, now could just as easily sell off here because we're in a downtrend, but we know they're moving yens to the upside. And this one right here will, it remains to be seen whether you'll be able to get it. It's only 25 pips up in here, so
カナダ円ですね。ブレイクフック&ゴーで買いですね。
I don't know if I'd even take that. I just moved my stop. I'm going to remove that. Move your stop because there's only 25 pips when you actually take this one out. New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen is, again, it's got a yen in it. We know they're moving them to the upside. So this is a very steep trend, as you can see. We've got another trend line working like this over to here. All right. So when we break, if we break, when we break, and if we break, there's your opportunity right there. And another big one right up in here. Right. So we don't want to miss either one of those. We want to be a buyer above 76.56. And we want to be, the first target is 77.46. That's 90 pips to there. And then up here, we're going up to 75.88. There's 180 pips up there. That'll be a big move for the currency, but as you...
9円ですね、240分。ブレイクしてきたら1つ目、2つ目っていう風に取っていきたいですね。
You see, they can make those moves. Notice, though, they do a lot of pullbacks. See all the pullbacks they do? Lots of pullbacks. So you've got to watch your stop on that trade. Like, don't be in a hurry to move your stop, or you're going to get whacked out. That's all there is to it. Because as showing you, that's what we do. This is the personality of the currency. Right? The personality says, we move, but we sure do come back fast. All right? So be aware, if you move your stop too quick, you will get whacked. You need to learn how to move your stop slower anyway, so this will be a good one to practice on. And there you go. Well, I took the tip off by email, or what's my risk? Funny. All right, we got a rectangle on the pound New Zealand. Unless there's a possibility you will tag this line one more time. It also means that they might finally run out of buyers and say it's done, and we actually do have a head and shoulders. Therefore, let's go ahead and go. So there's a head and shoulders right there. All right, so we could take it to the downside. All right, but if they break above the 2,000 number right here, we've got 56 pips up to there, and you can make that trade for 56 pips.
ポンドキウイですね、ヘッド&ショルダーです。なので売っていってもいいんですけども、ここの、2000ってとこですね、2.00 っていうのをブレイクしてきたら買っていきたいですね。50ピップ上まであるので、56ピップあるので、そこを買っていきたいですねと。
Alright. Silver, for those of you who can, we're waiting for them to square this thing up. They may just take off from here, but we have a square up that needs to be taken down here. So they're so close, they're only 40 pips away from it. They should get, if they want to go up, why not go down 40 pips and take the square up and then bounce from there? Now think like a big boy and you go, well, if we go from here, we won't ever get back here. We're only 40 pips down here. Let's go get it. And so we'll probably get a trade to the downside here, and then we will see look and see if we get the bounce to the upside. Right. So think like a big boy. Right? So we'll wait for the bounce to the upside, and our target would be 25.30. Right? So what do we do with dollars? Right now they're
銀ですね。銀は一回戻ってきてからの買いをしたいですねという感じですね。
buying dollars still. Right? So that's why the euro's going down, the pound's going down, the Aussie's going down, the New Zealand's going.
ドルは買われてますね。なのでユーロとポンドとか全部下がってますねっていう感じですね。
Down because they're buying dollars. Right? No, it's high silver, I think it is. Yeah, SLV. All right, pound cheese. We talked a lot about this trade right here. Okay, so we've come up pretty dang high here, and we've broken out. We need to correct. There's no way we'll never take a trade up here at the high. It's an unsustainable trend. They've got to pull it back down. So if they do pull it back down, we'll be looking down in this area for the bounce, up in this area, maybe even go deeper, right down in here, so we can get a good trend on.
ポンドフランですね。ポンドフラン240分見てます。これずっと話してきましたよね。で、すごくもう、行き過ぎちゃってるトレンド、サステイナブルトレンドなので、一回コレクション戻ってくるのを待ちましょう。で、ここのエリアっていうのが強そうなんですけど、ここからの跳ね返りで買っていきたいね。もしかしたらもっとディーパー、もっと深くまでリトレースするかもしれませんと。
Next week. Remember, they're starting the process of building for next week. Right? So we'll wait and see if they pull us down. If they pull it down and you get an opportunity to trade.
で、そうしたら、新しいトレンドですね、できるという感じになります。で、もう今日っていうのは、今日とか昨日っていうのは、来週に向けてのこの動きを見ていますよね。来週に向けてのこの、調整というかトレンドを作っているという状態です。
Then you definitely want to trade it. Right? So just pull back down to this area right here. And up you go. All right, pound Aussie. Pound Aussie, we're waiting to see what they do. It's got a pound in it, so the pound is supposed to be going to the downside. Are they going to the downside? No, they're not. All right. So they're not going to the downside even though they're supposed to be because of the pound in it. All right. Why is that? Because the pound is going down and the Aussie are both going down. That creates a sideways movement from here. Once they resolve that, we'll be looking for a buy of above 1.7400 to the double top at 74.89. 90 pips up there, folks. That'll be a nice trade. All right.
ポンド王子ですね。ポンド王子はこの、ポンドなんで下がってくるべきなんですけど、これ跳ね返ってきたら90ピップ買えますから買っていきたいですねと。
There we go. And finally, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, we're looking forward to continue this thing to the downside. We do not have, this is only a working trend right now. We don't know if this is a real trend. But it would make sense for them to come up and set a trend line up here before they turn it down. So you get a real trend on here and everybody would feel comfortable about that. So if they move to the upside and turn, you definitely want to be a seller. All right?
最後にポンド、ごめんなさい、ユーロ9位ですね。ユーロニュージーランド。で、今どっちのトレンド何が使われているかちょっとよくわからなくて、これ上がってきたらこういう3点のちゃんとしたトレンドがあるので、デフィナリー、もう絶対に売り手になりたいですねと。それまでちょっと待たなくちゃいけませんと。
And this could also be an inverse head and shoulders right here, and they're actually done with this downside move, and maybe they want to keep going up to the upside. All right? So you got to.
で、もう一個気をつけなくちゃいけないのが逆のヘッド&ショルダーですね。なので、このトレンドブレイクで上に行ってダウントレンドが終わるかもしれませんと。
Because the currency proves what it wants to do right here. So I would be looking, especially if you get the pull back up and the move to the downside, I'm definitely looking for this big opportunity right down in this area right here. But it's got to prove it, and right now I can't even tell you where to make the trade because they don't have enough information. So watch for it to come up, and if it turns, wherever that happens to be, then you might be interested in it. Okay? All right, thanks, Don. We're done with it right now because it's too late in the session. We're going to close London, and that's it, done of it. Okay? Yeah, we just put that on last night. So, if you want to know what our running total is, I'll pop that up real quick. If you go to the home page.
はい、というわけで今日のセッションリキャップここまでです。今週も1週間お疲れ様でした。また今日はありますけども、また来週政策金利がいっぱいあるので、動いてくると思います。また来週取っていきたいと思います。それではどうもありがとうございました。失礼します。